a big, oversized, big bird in this area ever? Even when you was a kid now, think back.
I've saw some pretty good sized birds, but there's been far in between.
Well, Daddy, tell him what you seen.
I ain't gonna do it.
Tell him.
You think I'm crazy.
No, he won't. Tell him. You told Shirley.
You remember them 3 trees was right down there just before you turn off the hill to go over to across the hill to Russell? Them 3 trees that stood up. You remember?
They cut them down since, but...
They cut them down.
You know, walnut trees?
Huh?
Walnut trees?
No, they wasn't walnuts, I don't think. But they was 2 trees, or 3 trees.
Somebody's here.
Setting up on this top of that
Yeah, I
hump.
see them. They're coming down the
They're right
driveway.
at the top of the hump.
Who?
I don't know.
Just before you turn down
Let's
the
see.
Russell.
Yeah.
There was 3 trees there. I
My
come
car.
up through there,
My car.
and
No
a bird.
wheels. No wheels.
Believe it or not, big old brown bird.
Big brown bird.
Flopping his wings on that side of the hill and that side of the hill. And when it was turned up to go out down the mountain towards the creek, its wings hit the top of that tree and the bottom of this tree.
That's how big this bird was.
Down here.
That was
The
Olivia.
bird was bigger
Okay.
than a Volkswagen. And it flew across the creek and it landed on a poplar, it was poplar, limb, big on the arm. And it just broke out and under it. And it flew on down the hall.
What do you think
That
about
bird was
that?
the biggest bird I ever seen in my life.
And he says it looked like a normal bird.
Yeah, long
So I got to
bird.
researching, and you know, in Texas, they're calling them the Thunderbirds. But there's been birds seen, just like Daddy explains, in Texas. Huge birds that they've shot down, and they're like from way back in
Yeah.
prehistoric time. There was just a few left over,
Yeah.
and they've got pictures of like 10 men standing, arms outstretched, okay, in front of this dead bird. That's how big this bird is.
And
In Texas.
has wings stretched out.
Yeah.
Now, everybody says I didn't see that bird. I did.
But he truly believes what he
I
sees.
don't have no reason.
And mommy was in there with him. And who else? And she seen it and heard it too. I mean, it had to been, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But me myself, I've never seen a bird that big around here.
Well,
Let me
I
tell
had
you.
never seen it.
Let me tell you what happened to us one time. I didn't see a bird, but we was all over here. Me, Leslie White, Roy, Jimmy, Ruby, Debbie. I mean, the whole bunch of us. All us youngins. I think Linda was with us, and maybe even Eddie. But we was all over at the cemetery, at the foot there of Russell Workman's, that cemetery down there. And we was acting stupid. We was acting like we was doing a seance. All gathered around the table with a candle and all that crap.
Yeah.
And I swear to you, something come out of them hills. You could hear in the top of the trees coming down. And you could hear the wings flapping. And it knocked the hat off of Larry Workman's head. And the hat went rolling. And knocked him over too. Now, that had to have been something that flew that did that. And that's when I was a kid. That we all experienced that. Heard it. Didn't see it. But we all heard it. The wind. Felt the wind from it.
Yeah.
The flapping. Heard the flapping of the wings and everything.
Yeah.
And it was in pretty well the same area that he's talking about. Where he's seen the big bird.
The peak.
But what do you think about that? Stuff like that still. Imagine what could be in the rainforest still alive and stuff from the prehistoric times. Now this back in the 60s and 70s, wasn't it? What I read up about Texas, that they were shooting these big birds that was coming out of nowhere. Shooting them down, but it would take bullets on top of bullets just to bring them down. And they were big, prehistoric birds. Big, brown, prehistoric. I showed you the pictures, didn't I? Because he got me wondering, maybe his mind is wondering. Maybe his sugar's up high or something when he's come and told us all that.
Yeah.
And then I looked it up, and it ain't only in Texas. Mexico has experienced a time frame where they were battling big birds, too.
You have a picture of it on there?
No, on here, I don't, on my computer, my laptop.
Oh.
And my laptop's busted right now. Or I'd show it to you. But I could look it up, probably.